also one of the fathers of someone who died, on his show, and said that now he sees that 9/11 truth, Bob McIlvaney, that now this should be investigated and that he's suspicious of Building 7. But even more, and this was covered by CNN even, this was covered by George Soros' people attacking this show and attacking him and calling for his firing. Judge Andrew Napolitano, the co-host of Glenn Beck on his TV show, the guy with his own show on Fox Business with Lou Dobbs, came on this show without my prompting a month ago and said the official story of 9/11 is impossible and that it should be seen as the JFK assassination as a fraud. And the system has come after him, and you notice he hadn't been fired because this is becoming the mainstream view. We have major polls like the New York Times, Angus and Reid, where 83% don't believe the official story. Kennedy assassination polls are upwards of 90% believe the official story is a lie. And it's because of people's courage, like Andres von Bülow, the former head of German defense, coming out and saying it was an inside job. The former Italian president coming out. The number 3 in the Japanese government coming out on this show saying inside job. Because of so many family members and prominent people and emergency first responders and police officers that survived, the evidence is coming out. 6 of the 10 9/11 Commission are saying it's all a lie and a fraud. Mr. Farmer, the head lawyer, saying it's a, quote, criminal cover-up by the Pentagon. Ventura coming out, his show. I mean, and believe me, they've gone through a lot of harassment and intimidation over that. Homeland Security is trying to shut the show down. You heard Ventura 2 weeks ago break the news here that they have banned the police state episode. I mean, this is a big issue. And it's about honor. It's about courage. And so, Mark Stepnoski, do you want to make the announcement here on the show today of what you've announced you're going to do this week?
Certainly, yeah. I've pledged $10,000 to this second round of the Buildingwhat campaign in order to pay to have these commercials appear on the air again in New York City. So, hopefully your listeners will respond like they did before and be willing to put a little bit of their money into the pot and try to do what corporate television won't do, and that's show this building collapse on TV so that people can get a look at it, some of them for the first time, and maybe it'll affect their judgment about what happened that day.
Now, Mark, and then I want to get Tony's take on this. For those that don't know, because we're on so many M and FM stations, there's new folks tuning into this for the first time right now. What does the Buildingwhat campaign deal with? Why is it called Buildingwhat?
It deals solely with Building 7, the third tower. They collapsed on 9/11 at about 5:20 in the afternoon. The people responsible for this campaign and for getting these television commercials on the air is NYC CAN, New York City Coalition for Accountability Now. They attempted a couple years ago to have this issue considered by the City Council of New York. They wanted to present this issue, have witnesses, and somehow spur a separate investigation by City Council in New York. And during that time period, when one of the members of NYC CAN mentioned Building 7 while addressing the judge for the city, his comment was Building what? Because like many people, apparently he wasn't familiar with that building or the fact that it collapsed that day. So that kind of, in a nutshell, crystallizes public opinion about this issue and the lack of information and the lack of awareness about what happened to Building 7. So that is how it became the name of the campaign.
Well, it's beautiful, and we're going to give folks the URL out in a moment to the Buildingwhat website. We're also going to play the original ad. But, Mark, I'm telling you, this campaign was a lot more successful than I even thought it would be. When I asked my listeners, if they believed in it to donate to it up front with that original seed money, and then others joined in, I wasn't sure it would have any effect at all, but I knew that laying down would certainly be ineffective. I mean, what's the old saying that that winners never quit and quitters never win, or you can say it the other way, that that quitters never win and winners never quit. But certainly now it's caused a chain reaction. BBC, RT, Al Jazeera, Fox, CNN, and it clearly spurred courage for Geraldo Rivera. I won't play it again because of time constraints, but he said, wow, I've now met with a family who lost their son. These engineers, Building 7, very suspicious. This needs to be looked into. I'm suspicious. This is legitimate. And then Napolitano on Fox, of all places, to step up with even more courage, and now they've tried to get him fired. We need to stand with him. I mean, this isn't a game here, but I'm really very surprised and very happy at just how effective the Buildingwhat campaign has been. So I want to salute everybody involved with it, and, of course, you, Mark, and Mr. Szamboti and everybody else, because we're having an effect here, and the system's got to be scared. Mark, what's your take on that?
Well, I agree. I think the people at NYC Can deserve a lot of credit. You know, they have worked hard on this issue for years. They have refused to let this issue die. That has mainly come about as a result of the dedication of not only the family members, the remaining family members who are involved with NYC Can, but all the other institutions and all the other groups of people that are involved. The firefighters, the pilots, like you mentioned, the architects and the engineers, former military and intelligence people. There's a whole lot of credibility behind this movement, and it's not, you have all the different areas represented. You have people whose family members were involved. You have people whose background involves expertise in these areas. Everyone who has reason to be skeptical has joined forces in this group to come together to kind of pierce the censorship bubble that has existed around, the collapse of Building 7. As you mentioned earlier, internationally now, for several years, there has been quite a bit of skepticism about the official story of 9/11, and there have been people around the world in leadership positions who have spoken out and have expressed their skepticism. I think, fortunately, what this campaign has done here in New York has kind of enabled that to happen to a certain extent in America. Because of the media blackout regarding some of the truths of September 11th, I think the public and certainly some politicians have been slow to react compared to what's going on in other countries. But fortunately, it looks like thus far these commercials have served as an impetus to get people to kind of shrug off their apathy and address this issue and look at it with new eyes, so to speak, and hopefully try to do something about it.
So it's almost like some big offensive linemen breaking open a hole so that the truth, that running back can run right through and get a touchdown.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you have the truth on your side, it's only a question of time before it comes out. I mean, if you have dedicated people who feel strongly about this issue, who are not going to go away, they have, like I said, for many reasons, a lot of people involved behind this campaign have a lot of incentive to see it succeed. And fortunately, all that dedication and years of hard work is yielding some results right now, which is very encouraging. And that's why I continue to be involved, because, in light of the effect that this has had, everybody who is part of it would certainly like to see it continue.
Well, we're going to come back with Mark Stepnoski and, of course, mechanical engineer Tony Szamboti. Just absolutely amazing. We'll also look back at Building 7 and why it's so important and the key to exposing the cover-up and the fraud that is 9/11 and how 9/11's now been used for the naked body scanners, the threat fusion centers, the police state, all these illegal wars, and where the Buildingwhat campaign is going next. But it's had a huge effect, and we've never been making this much progress for 9/11 truth. The system is really scared. We'll also talk to Mark and Tony about why they had the courage to go public. why they're doing it. I mean, I know why deep down. I can answer their question for them, because they can't stand corruption. They can't stand lies. They have a sense of justice. But we'll discuss it all with these patriots on the other side. Stay with us. Bellamy and Muse on. He's a patriot. Only news links on the Muse website. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.com. I'm not bragging. I'm saying look at the effect. How many other great people of courage are stepping up and standing out. Matt Bellamy at concerts has talked about Inside Job, worn Terror Storm T-shirts promoting my film. As more and more prominent people, Willie Nelson, the list goes on, stand up with courage, it's over for the system. It's over. And more people can now have courage standing on the shoulders of people like Mark Stepnoski, again, two-time Super Bowl winner, 5-time Pro Bowler, NFL, Cowboys center. We've also got Tony Szamboti, mechanical engineer, part of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, waking up Geraldo Rivera, chain reaction into Judge Knapp. Very exciting. In this brief segment, we're going to hold you guys throughout the hour, and I appreciate your time. I want to play the Building What ad, give out the website. It's buildingwhat.org, running through to the end of the year, the next 3 days, today, Thursday, and Friday. He's given $10,000, and he hopes to match those that give $10,000. I'm told our listeners gave about 30 the first time we did this. That sounds like a lot. It's not. But those few ads in New York, because the ad's effective, had a big effect. I want to ask you this first, Tony, before we go come back to Mark Stepnoski. What made you as an engineer start questioning, and what's your whole view of 9/11?
Well, I watched the towers come down live at work. We were in a design review when we heard that there was a first and then a second plane hit. And at break time, of course, went out to the cafeteria. And, most big companies have TVs in the cafeterias. We're watching the towers while they're burning, and next thing you know, one comes down, South Tower, and then a half hour later, the North Tower, and I was shaking my head, wondering where all the energy came from. I'm not saying I was suspicious; it just didn't seem right. And coming home from work that night, I heard about Building 7, and that just perplexed me. I'm thinking it had to be right up next to the towers, been completely gutted. They said there was diesel fires there that they couldn't put out. It just didn't seem right. Knowing they described the size of the building. And in case anybody doesn't know, most people should know, but they really need to think about it. And I use football field, Mark, as an analogy here. Imagine being on a football field. That's how big that building was in plan, an area. Each floor was a football field in size. And you would have a large column every 5 yards on the perimeter. Then you'd have the same size columns from the 20-yard line to the 20-yard line, and then 3 abreast, another 24 in the middle. And imagine that thing coming down at free fall acceleration for 105 feet. This thing was 610 foot tall.
Unbelievable.
It's immense. I don't think people really fully appreciate it when they see the film. The immensity of this building. So
in most cities, it'd be the biggest. In Austin, it'd be the biggest. It'd be the second biggest building in Dallas.
Well, they're saying in 33 states it would be the biggest building. Okay, but it's not just the height, Alex. It's the immensity, the size, a football field in width and length, and then 610 foot tall. That's a humongous building.